Okay, what's up, everyone? I'm posting this video to let y'all know about Asus destroying customers' property, alright, and not doing the right thing when it come time to. If it didn't happen to me, I could believe that it's possible it didn't happen to others. I can prove my story with audio from the calls that'll confirm everything that I have said and am about to say. The company Asus received my motherboard due to a RMA. I sent it back in due to a GPU slot that was just so weak that it couldn't support the weight of a Zotac 980 Ti Extreme. This GPU port sagged like it had the weight of 1,000 men upon it. Okay? That's the Asus product that I got that was supposed to be Asus Tough. Okay? Fortified tough, as you can see. But it failed. So I RMA'd the board like I was supposed to with my 5-year warranty. I called in. I provided the serial number, as this is the procedure that Asus provides. And the customer rep that I spoke to told me the length of my warranty that remained, and that I could send the motherboard in and that they would get it repaired. And if they couldn't repair it, they refurbish it and send me out another one. No problem. I asked if they was gonna give me a shipping label or send me out a shipping box. At that time, they told me that they wouldn't. That I would have to pay for the shipping. But they would take care of everything and just get it sent in. So I sent in the motherboard. And that was that. That's the beginning of the nightmare. Okay, so before I move on to the audio, which is what I know y'all all waiting to hear, and I'm trying to get to it as fast as possible, there are a couple things that I want to go over prior to, so it's more clear to you exactly what's going on. First of all, I purchased the motherboard back in April of 2015 when I was in Germany visiting the country. I was learning a new language there. I loved it. It was very enjoyable. Great time. I love Germany. Great place. Y'all definitely check that out. Nonetheless, while I was there, I still couldn't do without a desktop. I still need my desktop. So I chose the Sabertooth X99 motherboard, man. I felt like that was the best way to go, thinking I was making the right choice. I bought that motherboard from a recommended company that Asus recommend on their website. It was computeruniverse.de. Okay, this is where I got the motherboard from. So I got the motherboard. I had it all that time. I had it since April, like I say, April of 2015 until I came home. Way later. I stayed there for a while. I came home. I had the board for quite some time, and I had already noticed that GPU slot was sagging more and more, and I thought that eventually it would get to a point where that would be the end of it. But I was wrong. That is not the case. Once you see it, it's already too late. So by the time I'm here, eventually I want to add a second GPU. Now I want an SLI, and my first slot ain't working. It done sagged and dropped it and failed. It's broke. It's busted. It's over with for that particular PCIe slot. So I end up only being able to use one slot. Like the other slots that remain, they all work. It's even an option in the Sabertooth board that lets you allocate the amount of bandwidth per channel. So you can change it from 4 to 8 to 16 depending on what channels are still available. So I was fine for the moment with one GPU. I could still do what I needed to do, but just not with that first slot. So I sent this board in to them. They eventually send me a bill. Okay, after they told me all of this, they eventually send me a bill for $120. Okay, which you can see here, $120 for motherboard damage, as you can see. Okay, and they say that the PCIe 16-1 is damaged. Okay, now I want to be clear that I have never denied that the PCIe port was messing up. It was. That's the fact. Was it damaged? Yeah, it was damaged. Look at it. It was falling off. Okay, we see nothing for CID 0 because it wasn't my fault. It's a weak port. All right, shipping international, $150. This set off a little bit of a curiosity with me. You know, like, I mean, why is the shipping international 150? Shipping ground $10. Okay, this is the bill. All right, 280 total. This is the bill they sent me, already telling me that everything was gonna be, you know, taken care of and okay. So I immediately call in. When I speak to Asus, they tell me that the reason that I'm getting this bill is because there is no warranty. That they had made a mistake. That the motherboard was not supposed to go to them. That motherboard was supposed to go back to Germany's Asus. You know, I mean, I didn't even know that. And when you actually look at the box, which I'll show a little bit later in the video, the phone numbers for Asus is there. Say if you have trouble to contact Asus, and that's the number that I call. So in the end, they end up telling me that they sending me that bill because, you know, basically the board ain't warranted in the USA, and that I could either pay the $280 or I could ship the motherboard back to Germany on my own, in which case Germany will cover it under their warranty. You know, it's a little different in Germany. They got a little bit different of a system where their consumer laws is pretty good, man, where I would have been taken care of there, no problem, where here they just adding problems. So what end up being the case is I tell her, you know, go ahead, just ship it back to me, man. I mean, if it ain't warranty here and I'm gonna have to pay all that money, I'd rather just pay the shipping cost myself, which anybody who knows shipping know it won't cost $280 to get the board back to Germany. No problem, man. Just send it back and I get it shipped back out again. Okay, so now at this point, Asus supposed to return me the motherboard. Now, the odd part is right after this conversation, a couple days later after this conversation, when everything's said and done, alright, I'm thinking now I'm finna move forward with shipping it to Germany. I get this document in my email. Okay, now the problem with this document is over here in the side, they tell me that the GPU slot and PCIe slot not working, motherboard not powering on as well. As an addition, motherboard not powering on as well. Whoa, what's going on? What do you mean motherboard not powering on? When the motherboard was working 100% fine. Well, I can't say 100%, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. The motherboard powered on and worked absolutely fine, minus that one PCIe slot. That was all. Okay, so I have no idea where this is coming from all of a sudden, where you looking at the same bill that tells you already that it was the PCIe port, and this entire time, this document came after the bill. Okay, so they already knew what the situation was, and now the situation had been updated to include that the motherboard was not powering on as well. Okay, so this was the next major problem in the whole situation. This is when I knew I had to call in again. Okay, so later, after some weeks go by, I end up finally getting the hold of someone in regards to the investigation of my X99 Sabertooth motherboard to try to see what had happened. You know, like it had been all this time where no one had contacted me to provide me with any information on the matter. And then eventually I got to speak with what was supposed to be one of the highest level, a level 3 manager, who informed me that the motherboard had been destroyed, that it wasn't working, they couldn't do nothing to recover it, it couldn't be repaired, and that they were really sorry about it happening, and that they had investigated the matter of, you know, with the motherboard and everything, and that what they would do is replace the motherboard with a new one, not a used one. He said for everything I have been through, it was too much, that they would give me a new one instead. And he said that if he could, he would even upgrade me to the newest and best motherboard for the conveniences, but he didn't know if he can do that for sure, that he had to check with, you know, his boss to see if he can upgrade me, but they was guaranteed gonna give me a new one. And he told me that if they was gonna upgrade me, I could select the motherboard that I wanted to be upgraded to on the following Tuesday, due to the department that he needed to notify being closed that Friday. So they were supposed to call me back on Tuesday for me to pick my new motherboard. I asked him if it was for sure, if it was guaranteed, if I wasn't gonna have to go through anything else, and he guaranteed me, he assured me that I would not. He told me that on Tuesday he would call me, and that was it. Okay, so this is where it was supposed to be. So of course, you know, that Tuesday coming, nothing. Nobody say nothing. I get no call. I don't get the new replacement motherboard. Nothing. So I call in, only to find out that they don't even know where this person is. They don't even know what's going on. They don't even know what I'm talking about. So after going back and forth for a long time with them, another couple days, I end up getting them to pull the calls, and they discover the call. That I'm telling them the truth about everything that said and what happened. And now, them knowing this, you would think that they would say, "Oh wow, okay, we gonna go ahead and replace it, and we gonna do exactly what we should be doing." No, that's not what happened. In the end, Asus sent me yet another email. An email that tells me, as you can see, that regardless of what I've been told, that now they won't replace the board because it's this thing about boards being zoned, where a board that's bought in Germany is zoned to the country of Germany, and a board that's bought in America is zoned to the United States. So, what they was trying to say is, since it's zoned to Germany, they ain't gonna cover it. That they never have and that they never will. That's the reason for why they won't cover what they've destroyed. What they've admitted to destroying, they don't want to cover because where I got it from. Okay? This is not logic. This is not logical. I did not force y'all to take it. Y'all had me send it to y'all. Y'all made a mistake. You cover your mistake. Okay? Where I got the board is irrelevant. It's irrelevant in this case. They destroyed my property. And I done seen other people who get these same motherboards with these stickers pointing on their stuff, and they saying that this stuff wasn't done by them. Alright, and this is in them cases, not with the addition of damages that you can see. Okay, this ain't. I've been documenting it to the fullest possibility I can, and up to this point, I believe I've gave y'all all enough of the background so you can have at least the idea of where this audio is headed. Okay, because next we go to the audio. I done enough talking. If y'all, I'm sorry that this has been so much talking. I could say a lot more. I may even make another video, but for now, this is enough for this one for me to let it carry on into the audio, and you can see how Asus tried to handle this situation. They ripping me off. They really trying to rip me off. If you go to my Imager page, I'm gonna put a link down in the details below. You can click the link to my Imager page and you'll be able to look at all of the rest of the documents. I got a lot more documents, all with notes and details attached. You'll be able to see things like how later they send out another email, okay, when they get ready to try to send the board back again after they say that now they're not going to upgrade it or replace it. They send out another bill where now this time they removed the motherboard won't power on. And the email that they sent after the last email that said the motherboard won't power on, and they've confirmed that the motherboard won't power on, yet the last time that they want to try to send it back to me broken, they sent out another email where that same comment is now removed. Okay, you'll also notice in the final picture on the Imager page that the PCIe port is now gone, completely removed, and there goes that famous Asused red arrow. Okay, and the reason for this is because now Asus is saying that it's just a little plastic piece. That's what they told me. They literally telling me it's just a little plastic piece. No, that little plastic piece is my property. So now not only did you destroy my motherboard, but you actually kept my property. You actually deboed me. You robbed me. If I go to a Walmart, if I go to a regular store and I steal some plastic, guess what? I still stole. You understand? That is my property. Y'all are wrong for this. And now, without further ado, I present to you the audio that will again confirm everything that I have told you and more. You can check out my Imager page for the rest of the pictures and documents. Please do. Please do. Okay, the more people who see this, the better. Okay, I really hope people see this. I do not want this to happen to anyone else. Okay, also, I have a Reddit, my own Reddit page. It's called Asused. Okay, that's r/ASUSED. I'll put a link down in the details below. You can go there and check out even more documentation on the story. You can see some of the kind of combat I've been having to have with however the system works, where my original post on Reddit was on a fast rise to the top. I mean, a top comment. And the moderators within the PC Master Race actually suspended my post and demanded that I provide proof. I provided the proof. They reinstated the post, and now the post went from the top of the page all the way to the back. I mean, buried, where no one can find it, where people were asking about it in the comment sections, and I was having to post the link. And even in those cases, some people even came back to me later telling me how they weren't receiving replies. Okay, so I just want to point that out, that this is the kind of stuff that can happen to you, which is why I created Asused in the first place. All right, so it could be a place that I can moderate, that I can make sure it's still actually working and functioning the way it should without any interference from anyone. Okay, and that's just the bottom line on it. So here we go. I'm gonna let this audio play. It's gonna be straight through. This is between I and the highest level, aside from their legal team. This is the highest level of management at Asus, confirming all of the information that I have provided. Thank you all for listening, and I hope this really show y'all how honest I've been throughout all of this. Thanks.
They're not hearing it. They're still saying, basically, they denied it. Is what I'm trying to say. They denied it.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they're saying, that they can't do anything about it because they're still saying that because regardless of the zone is still not in the correct zone. They're saying the zone is not in the U.S. We still can't do anything. So that's what they're looking at. They're saying the zone is still, regardless of what's going on, what happened. They're saying the zone is messed up and they cannot. I mean, the zone is not in the zone of the U.S. So they can't do anything. And they're saying, I was like, well, no one told him that. I said he was told that, and.
But are you the one?
They're not hearing what they're not hearing it.
But are you the one who reviewed the tapes?
I reviewed the tapes and I took to the higher ups, because they have the final say so on everything.
So,
and they're the one that pretty much, said, look, that the zone is it's not in the in the AC, in the U.S. zone, so we can't do anything about it. And I said, well, he told that it was damaged, and he said that it went damaged, but he sent it in, and he wants it to be replaced. And they're like, well, he hasn't even seen it yet. And so that's why I was telling you, once you see it, once you get it back if it's damaged, then I would go the next step. But like I said, their terms, I mean, you was speaking to someone in a different different ones around the country, some of them are overseas, and sometimes, they explain things, not correctly, and although it was damaged,
yeah, but,
I mean,
but
actually look at it to see, because sometimes, it's not always damaged, like they're saying that it's damaged.
Yeah, but me as a customer,
they say CID, they could be like a blown capacitor, they call that damage. It's not really damage, it's one blown
no, well, that's the thing. They didn't call it the damage of the PCI port and all this other stuff. It sounded to me like, I'm having to pay the price for, the company's mistakes, which is part of the reason that I had called in to have my board replaced, the reason that the manager offered to replace my board in the first place. And the reason I had ended up calling.
I said that too, that the manager told you they were going to do all that.
But did y'all check that?
Given the inaccurate information. I told that you were told by manager that you were going to be receiving a unit. You was told it was damaged. Could that be done? They're going to replace it. And so you was pretty much made promises, and and they're saying.
Yeah, but was it reviewed?
That person's going to do.
But did they?
Yes, they played the call. They played the call.
So they know. So they know what I'm saying.
I'm not sure how they're dealing with it, but they were dealt with what I was told. I'm not sure what they did, whether he was fired or what, but they replayed all the calls.
So they do.
It was reviewed.
So they know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. They heard what you said, and they heard what the technician said too. They heard that, but I'm just saying, but they're saying that still, because of the zone, they still cannot fix it because they're still not making out a warranty because of the zone. They're still stuck on the fact that it's not in the U.S. and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but how can they make the customer be responsible for the damage of the company if they hear the manager telling me what happened? Remember, this before I even got the bill. I didn't even have a bill for the PCIe port yet. They already knew what was going on, and he was supposed to be updating me on what was going on. And at that time, he told me that the board was destroyed. It was totaled, that they could not repair it, and that he was going to be replacing it. I mean, it's exactly what he said in the tape. Is this not what he said? Because if I'm wrong, please, I just want y'all to correct the information so we're on the same page. Because that's exactly what I remember.
Well, I mean, it's destroyed. I don't even know why he even used that word destroyed, because that word shouldn't even be used. I mean, what they need to put me destroyed would mean they had to beat it up or whatever.
I understand.
And it wasn't that way.
But is that what he said? My most important thing.
You have to actually see it. Get in your hand and see it. Once you get it, and then you can determine whether or not, it's beat up.
No, because even according to what we both, so I'm guessing, so at this point we all on the same page. I know that y'all heard him tell me that the board was destroyed. He was going to replace it. It wasn't nothing they could do to fix it, blah, blah, blah. Y'all done heard this. So y'all argument now is that he didn't say it. Y'all argument is that y'all ain't willing to honor what was promised by a representative of the company because it's not zoned to America, even though the damage was done during that time. Because that's kind of weird, I'm just trying to understand if y'all could give me the reason.
The technician gave you the wrong information. They should have even told you what they said to you. That wasn't even. Should have even said that. Okay, but listen, here's what I would like to, I would like to, although they're saying that it's damaged, I think that we need to see photos, of the damage. I think that my team needs to look at the photos.
No, he said,
exactly.
They said it's a power. They said it's a power problem.
I've already, requested that they send photos so we can take a look and see what they call damage, because I want to see, destroyed. I want to see what destroyed is.
But when the board,
I think they need to look and see if this board is destroyed, like what you were told. I don't believe that it is.
But what? No, look, he said, look, this is what they told me.
They got the way they use words. Their wording is always different.
They said that he said, look, they said it was a power problem. That's what it was. And a power problem, that's my issue. Yeah, because a power problem ain't visible. A power problem ain't something that you can automatically see.
And I want to help you. I promise you I do, and I'm trying. But like I said, they get the last word, and they've already denied it over and over again. But like I said, I'm going to let them know that can we look at the photos and see, can we see the photos? Let's look at the photos and see exactly, what's considered as, pretty much destroyed. I'd like to see the photos myself. I want to see the photos. But I know what you were told. I understand what you were told. I know that, and you would think that's grounds for look. Hey, well, look, a manager told me this. So therefore, it should be honored. And I'm telling you, I understand that. But I'm just telling you, as soon as whenever, as long as I've been here, whenever it comes to you being in a different zone than the U.S., they will. It's just like this automatic no-go. They have never ever. They're still denying it. They're saying that you have to pay the fee. So at this point, you have to write a letter, because there's nothing more that I can do. You have to write a letter to the corporate office and let them know how you feel and what you've been through, because they're denying it. They're saying the unit is out of warranty. They can't do anything else for you.
Yeah, but they saying we've been through the warranty thing, and we already at this point now they know that the information has been confirmed already, and the manager that I spoke to, actually across the board, all employees agreed that this is what I was told, this is what should happen, and still up to the day it hasn't been honored. Now my first question is, due to already what was supposed to happen, it didn't happen. What do Asus plan to do from this point? What's Asus's plan? Okay, they try to deny it again, even though they already had agreed it was supposed to be honoring something else. Now they changing the plan. So what do Asus plan to do opposite of what was already promised?
Well, they're not going to do anything. From what I can see, they've already shipped the unit back to you, because they're saying the unit responded to the request as far as getting it repaired, and they're going to ship it back to you.
Okay, so they plan to ship back.
That's the last thing that I saw.
So they
on your face.
Okay, so they want to send the board back after the manager told me it was destroyed, it was totaled, that it was an accident, that it will be repaired, everything. After all of his confession, Asus sending me back a board that they know is destroyed. I just want to make clear that y'all was supposed to honor something different, and y'all will be liable for any damages that come from any other of the parts. So what Asus is trying to tell me is that the manager who said that the manager was destroyed and broken, I need to hear from Asus that the board was not damaged and destroyed. Is that what y'all saying? That he made a mistake? That the board was never damaged at all? So I should get this board back. It should be perfectly fine except for the PCI port. That's what y'all telling me, right? Because y'all assuming responsibility for it and sending it back to me.
I don't. I mean, I see what you're saying. I see.
Y'all accepting it.
At this point, you have to contact the legal department.
Nope, I need to speak to a man.
Our conversation that was,
No.
that person.
No, I need.
At this point, it's out of my hands. You have to contact the.
No.
Yes, I am.
And so there ain't nobody above you in this department?
No, in this department, we're all here on the same level. I mean, as far as anyone above us, they're not here. They are going to be at the corporate office in California. So and that's the legal team. That's who you have to speak with.
Well, you could give me what's their number?
Well, actually, I'm sorry. There's no number I can give you. You can't speak with them. Actually, it's all done through email. So you have to write the letter. Like I was saying, it has to be a certified letter. I can give you a shipping address that you need to write.
And again, like I'm saying now, because we all heard the call, Asused and verified the call. We got all these recorded calls. Every call been recorded, and now we at a point where Asused know that it's true, and they still finna try to send me back this board. In order for y'all to be able to do that, you do realize you have to provide me with the information that the manager is wrong, that the board is working, that the board is not damaged further, like he said. Because this is what he said, and this is why he said he was replacing it. Now, if y'all trying to send the board back to me, you have to be able to assure me that the board was in the same condition as when I sent it. So if somebody can't assure me that, y'all can't send me the board back. So I can't accept y'all sending the board back to me. So whoever think they about to try to send it back, don't even waste your time. Because if y'all can't even say that, and y'all already heard what he said. So if you heard what he said, and y'all won't agree that he was right and that we should do what he said because he the technician. This is why I believed him. And obviously y'all believe him, because if you didn't, you would be able to tell me that the board still worked, that it's a mistake. But you can't. Why is that? I need to speak.
It's out of my hands, sir. I mean, earlier, that, like I said, sometimes, the wording is just different, and
no, not in this case. Not in this case. Because you got to hear what I'm saying. You got to hear what I'm saying. Y'all trying to tell me y'all made a mistake.
Ever tell the customer, your board was completely damaged. I mean, whatever. I've never heard any technician tell a customer that ever, because that's never been the case.
So this is the first time that ever happened.
Like just completely beat up, unless it was, damage in transit, with FedEx or whatever, something like that. But I've never heard a technician, ever talk that way. If they are talking that way, I don't know why they would be saying something like that, because that's not the way that we do things here.
Yeah, but y'all already heard it. But y'all already heard him saying this stuff.
I don't know why he told you that.
But y'all hear him telling me that.
You see the board. I mean, you can't even confirm that because you haven't even seen it yet.
Y'all are already. I can confirm it because he sent me the email first, and then when I call after weeks of waiting, after sending the board back in for them to allegedly investigate it, that's when he called me back with this call. That's why this looks so bad. There are no photos to take. There are no photos to take because he said it was power. He said it was power damage. That's what he said. So I doubt they could take a picture of power damage. Power damage is not always apparent.
We have to definitely go over, because, they received it.
Well, look, I think...
told you from the get-go, that it was the zone wasn't in the U.S. It shouldn't have been even...
I just told you all the reasons.
To begin with.
Look.
Tell you that, so. It's not anything broken. I'm sure it's not going to be broken. I mean, you mean like you said, not powering on. I mean, all I can tell you is what the note said. It said that they said that they received it. It wasn't powering on, and I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't want to tell you nothing else. I mean, that you've already been told, and
yeah, but if
we can go round and round on this over and over again.
The package should be fine. I should get my motherboard. It should be exactly like I sent it, and the only thing that should be damaged is the PCIe port. So my parts and pieces and everything should be safe. Is that what y'all telling me?
Back to you because you didn't pay the fee that they for the CID quote. It was rejected, so it's being sent back to you. That's what I'm telling you.
For the PCIe port.
CID, just says that it was, CID, no power,
No, the no power was not part of it.
That's what I'm saying.
The no power, y'all adding that. That's the addition of damage in the first place. Okay, so this no power problem I'm not accepting because that wasn't there originally.
They said it wouldn't power on. I mean, the PCI slot was damaged, and it wouldn't power on. That's what I'm seeing in the notes.
The PCI port don't. The board still powers on.
And then it says that unit will not power on. That's what I'm showing. That's what I'm showing that they diagnosed on your board. And it's showing it. And it says that the CID quote was rejected. You didn't pay it, so they're sending it back to you. That's what I'm saying in the notes here.
Okay, so how do that make sense?
How many days to pay it?
How can y'all cause the power problem and try to send it back, knowing I got the bill that says it's for the PCIe port?
Like I said, you have to do what you have to do.